Fuck sample clearance, welcome. I'm probably only going to be live for like an hour, dude. Like, I'm going to be getting this shit edited like that. I need to remix my recording. Speedrunning the edit today. I mean, it realistically shouldn't take me more than an hour. Hey, thank you for the sample, please. I appreciate it. This song's so good, dude. It's one of the best Gorillaz songs. C'est un long fil d'attente. Désolé. Tous mes fantômes sont bleus. Désolé. Désolé. Try to hold on to you. Gorillaz can be paused now. It's time to edit. And the recordings are the wrong way around. Hooray. Funcon Games and it's just editing. Listen, this is... It's an inaccurate channel title because this is just like the slop channel basically, but... I don't know. All of the videos on here are gaming, and there are still lots of gaming. I just do editing on here as well. Because fuck doing editing on the main channel. Frunk on anything, exactly. Alright. There we go. Oh, shit. Best song from each MCR album, including Conventional Weapons. First album, I don't even know if I've listened to it in full. I don't remember. Second album, The Ghost of You. Black Parade. Mama or Sleep. One of the two. Danger Days. Maybe Destroyer. And then Conventional Weapons, I don't remember. I've not listened to it in too long. Francon Cooking coming soon? No. Alright, everyone. We are on to what is the final, I guess, proper Boards of Canada album. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. I can't cook. Not properly, at least. I guess, proper Boards of Canada album, Tomorrow's Harvest. Now, they do have one more full album. Boards of Canada album, Tomorrow's Harvest. Now, they do have one more full album in their discography, BOC Maxima, but people don't really consider that an official part of the discography. I don't really know why, but people said, you can probably skip that one because it's not actually a proper part of their catalog. So I went straight to Tomorrow's Harvest instead. And this may end up being the final Boards of Canada video I do. We'll see about maybe doing one or two of the EPs. But honestly, I would be okay with the discography ending here. Only if there's like really high demand will I like go through and do their EPs, if I'm being honest, because this has been really fun to go through, getting weekly Can I cook pasta? Who would want to watch a video of me cooking pasta, bro? Through getting weekly just uncut videos on each of the boards, on each of the Boards of Canada albums and stuff like that, but bake a cake with my face on it. That would be terrible. And stuff like that, but I'm ready to move on to a new discography. I'm thinking I'm going to do Portishead next. Any objections to me doing Portishead? That's the point. That could be a fun thing to do with Caleb. Us baking a cake and putting my face on it. Any objections to me doing Portishead? EPs or whatever. Portishead. Tomorrow's yeah. To me doing Portishead. No? Good. Doing Portishead. No? Good. Tomorrow's Harvest. This good. Tomorrow's Harvest. This is the only Boards of Canada album that doesn't have a user must hear on album of the year. It's at a 78.6, rounded up to a 79. All of the rest of them have a user must hear. Music Has the Rights to Children 86, GeoGaddy 87, Campfire Head Phase 84, and Inferno 82. Tomorrow's Harvest has a 79. That means this Harvest has a 79. That means this album is going to suck penis, ladies and gentlemen. This album's going to be a 0 out of 10. I've already decided. I'm obviously joking. That the reception is still immensely positive. This is low-key a YouTube poop video. Immensely positive. The reception, still is near enough at a must hear. I'm expecting this album to also be really good. I know nothing will be really good. I mean, once we get to the actual song, the songs are going to be uncut. Going into this one again. I've been doing these Boards of Canada videos as uncut reactions, which I don't usually do. Going more into down tempo, kind of a more trip hop. Yeah, for these I've been doing. It was a little more straightforward, and its instrumentals had like lots more like guitar-based tracks, a lot more tracks that had like a little bits of live instrumentation as well. Their most straightforward record so far. So I'm going into this one extremely interested to see how this one sounds. It is listed as IDM here, so I'm expecting it to be a little more in line with their other stuff, but I don't know. We are just gonna see. This one came out in 2013. Is that 2013? It is 17 tracks, an hour and 2 minutes. Let's do this. Track 1, Gemini. The longest album I've heard may genuinely be fucking what's it called? The Chris Brown album. It might be. Let's do this. In 2 minutes. It's got my PC's really struggling and I don't know why. Minutes. Let's do this. Track 1, Gemini. Gemini. One, Gemini. We're not starting with a 1-minute interlude this time. I think it's representing the album cover really well. Like, it's got this one really desolate instrumental, and then layered under it is like a much more like bustling synth part that's a lot faster. It literally feels like the album cover where it's like the desert with like just the shadow of a city looming over it. That's a very cool way to start this. Ooh. Nice trans. Ooh. Ooh. Nice transition. As an opener, I would give that a high 7. Good shit. That a high 7. I don't know. I feel like the transition in that song from this very desolate, very deserted sounding instrumental into the more bustling synth part that kind of feels a little more futuristic, and it kind of displaying what the album cover is showing as like a transition from a desert turning into a city. It's a pretty into a city. It's a pretty city. It's a pretty cool way to, I guess, well, not visualize that, but a pretty cool way to, I guess, represent that musically. Maybe it would have been nice to have that track come a little later. I feel like that as an opener isn't necessarily like the best way to kick the album off. The best way to kick necessarily the best way to kick the album off. I don't know. It feels like a piece that's that representative of, like, I don't know, like the album cover itself, or a piece that's representative of what the album means as a whole. It would be nice to maybe have that come a little later as like something to come in the midpoint, like a transitional piece. But for it to start off the album, it just feels a little. Basically, I enjoyed the song, but I'm not a big fan of its placement as an opener. Essentially. Next track, Reach for the Dead. Next track. It's not that they don't consider it an album, it's that it's not really considered like an official part of the discography. Imagery wise, I gotta say, this track feels like it's doing something very similar to the previous song. Like, it feels like that same transition from like very deserted sounding, very dry, desolate instrumental. Why? I actually don't progressing into something very futuristic sounding. Except this time. Why is nothing like lining up, dude? Holy shit. Except this time I feel like that progression is even more satisfying than the previous track and makes a lot more sense coming where it is. Because it's coming where it is, because it kind of goes from something that feels arguably like a little ambient something that feels, I don't know, very spacey and very like empty and open, into something that feels so busy, something that feels busy, something that feels, I don't know, a little bit closer to like, I don't know, maybe some of the more like straightforward, I guess straightforward and forward, um, straightforward. I guess straightforward in a similar way to their previous album, but not obviously replicating that exact same sound necessarily. I really appreciate what this track does, and I think that it works a lot better than the previous song as well, in terms of like being that progression from like empty, open, desolate instrumental into something very busy and something very futuristic. I'm feeling a flat 9 on this one. White Psych. White Cyclosa. White Cyclosa. I'm probably saying that wrong. Dude, all I'm like, dude, all I'm getting are fucking comments on that Tally Hall video being like, Brad Taste too. You are Brad Taste of music. Like, fuck off. Like that fucking Reddit post, man. Like there's a difference between there's a difference between the Muse Reddit post that was like, you know, actually giving reasoning as to why it didn't like the video, and the fucking Tally Hall Reddit post that's just Brad Toast too. Like it didn't really get it's to just fully aggravating, man. Spread its wings, you know. I to fully progress or spread its wings, you know. I feel like this song, I don't know, it just feels a little unfair. Feel like this song feels a little unfinished. Spread its wings, you know. I feel like this song feels a little unfinished. I feel like that track could have been so much. B-Man comparisons have been ramping up. Accusations of LARPing. The reaction was too well. I know. It's just like, I feel like that track could have been so much. I'm fine with comments that don't like the video, but when all I'm seeing is Brad Taste 2 because of some like fucking dumb Reddit post that doesn't even give examples as to why they didn't like the video. It's just, hey, this is Brad Taste in music too. It's like, why? More than it was. The actual like progression that we get feels so minuscule in scale, especially compared to the previous track. This feels like such a massive. Like, there's no real point in that. It's just like, at least the Reddit post was like trying to engage active discussion in the video on like the Muse video. That the Tally Hall one is just like, please direct hate this way, please. Step back. That it kind of step back. That it kind of, I don't know. It feels like a little too out of place coming after the previous song. It feels like too much more of a step down. Much more of a step down. More of a step down in terms of scale, to the point where it doesn't really fit in context. Yeah, exactly. The song still sounds nice. I mean, again, the more like modern synths that they're using here work really well. I think that the actual sounds that they're playing with and the production still is fucking amazing. Um, Godzilla's fucking amazing. It's just the actual, I guess, song itself I found to be a little underwhelming. I'm feeling like a high 6. Yeah, high 6. Jacquard Causeway up next. Oh, sorry. I think that's how that's spelled. I might be wrong. Let me double check real quick. Oh, there's a C in there. Fuck. Jacquard Causeway up next. Logo. What album is that on? I can't remember the titles of all of their songs. I'm not seeing anywhere on any of their albums. Oh, it's on High Scores. I've not listened to that yet. Yeah, I have yet to listen to that. Um, this track was incredible for the most part. I do have one little issue with this, and it's that this track just feels a little overly long. The progression doesn't really feel like it's able to hold itself for the full 6 minutes and 30, and then by the time it gets to like that final minute or so, I'm just kind of like, okay, it feels like the track has kind of taken itself as far as it can, and then it feels like it's just going in circles a little bit for that final minute. But honestly, the entire rest of the song is fucking stunning. That very slow build, it's incredibly patience testing, but giving it the patience it deserves and allowing it to fully envelop you in its very slow build. It's just there's something so magical about this. The same magical quality that you get on some of the longer tracks on like Inferno or on GeoGaddy as well. Yeah. Or on Geo or on GeoGaddy as well. Or on GeoGaddy as well. Yeah, I would still give this track like a low 8 despite my one minor gripe with it. Yeah, good shit. It's still slapping indeed. Tell it back. Fucking hell. Tell it back. Fucking hell. Tell. Fucking hell. They responded to the Tally Hall vid under the original post. I mean, there might be some comments where there's like a little bit of discuss in the video. I didn't look. I just looked at the post, saw that it was just Brad Taste 2, and I was like, great. You know, seems like something very worth posting. Seems like something that definitely does not only exist to try and direct hate towards my channel. I gotta be honest. It's like, again, it's fine to not like the video, but at least, like, to put it in general, the response. I could just find the post. It'll probably show up on, like, my recently looked at posts, because that's a thing that Reddit will show you. I'll take a look through the comments, because I haven't looked at those. Yeah, the name of the post is just Brad Taste 2 Electric Boogaloo. Fun. Here we go. Fucking right there. I'd like to see what he actually likes. On Almadeer, it's 5 Trench. 20, his favorite brand's the same artist, but plays 25 at all. Top 5 is Peak. Okay, computer's good. Oh, no doubt. I usually really like his content, but his video is mean and rude. Usually watch his streams, usually interested in his take on the music. I was doing that. He's being so unbelievably rude. Title here is a joke, and please don't send hate to this dude even if I dislike this video. Is this you? If he's seen this post. Is this you? Who's you? You. You are you. Strawberry Floyd. I mean, it's time to do some digging. I'm getting to the bottom of who this is. Some light digging is all it took. What's all this fucking song and dance pretending it's not you? Just to be honest. Like, what's the point? Especially if you're gonna make it that easy to find out that it's you. I gotta be honest, we've already gotten a handful of Boards of Canada, like, creepy counting tracks, and the formula's worn on me a little bit by this point. It feels like retreading ground here. What's happening? I was pointing out that post on the Tally Hall Reddit. I respect the Muse post, but I don't respect the Tally Hall post. I hadn't looked at the comments, and then I was told to look in the comments. I found that, and I was like, hang on a sec. Then I was like, right, I'm gonna figure out who this is, and like that, I was able to figure out who it was. Flattering, it's a little unflattering. Like, if you're gonna try and hide that it's you, don't make it so easy to figure out it's you. Unflattering. I've gotten the exact same experience out of this song that I can get out of numerous other tracks by the band and done better as well. I think there's one on Inferno. I think there's one on GeoGaddy as well. There might be one on Music Has the Right to Children. I might be misremembering though. I don't know. No, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can just get what this track gives me, but a little better done on other albums. I'm feeling like a flat 6. on this. I mean, it's fine. Still sounds pretty cool, but I don't know. I can just go to some of those other albums to get what that track gives me, but done in a way that's a little more interesting, in a way that feels a little more fleshed out. More fleshed out. Listen, I wouldn't care if you didn't make such a song and dance to try and like hide it. Cold Earth. Like the post, I think is like dumb, but like I don't care that much to the point where I'm gonna like fucking hate whoever wrote it. Cold Earth. Question 23 specifically is meant to emphasize. That was great. That was just some. I don't know. Maybe like. Be like some of the feels. Maybe like some of the feels a little just standard boards of Canada, but the execution is undeniably incredible. I'm feeling a solid 8 on that track. Good shit. I don't know. Listen, I don't care that much. You don't need to apologize. I really don't care that much on that track. I don't know. It's like a nice 3 minute and 40-second eerie piece that I don't know takes the futuristic feeling of the rest of the album and makes it feel. It's just like a little apocalyptic, a little aggravating, makes it feel a little uneasy. And again, makes it feel a little uneasy. And again, yeah, you made a statement on one reaction, not the channel. It's just annoying that the other Tally Hall fans have decided to be like, yes, I will now spam this in the comment section. And again, I do feel like it's maybe a little back to basics Boards of Canada. It's far from the most unique track in their discography, which is why it doesn't quite get up into 9 out of 10 territory. The execution is too great for me to give it anything below an 8. And I give it a solid 8 as well. So, good shit. Good shit. Transmissions Ferox. Listen, you're all good. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna like hold this against you or anything like that. It's all good. I really don't care. Transmissions Ferox. Hmm. Hmm. I'm a little torn. I'm, I'm a little torn. This is like an okay ambient piece. It feels like an interlude, but it's not like really interlude length. It feels like it's the length of like a normal Boards of Canada track. These feel like they range from 2 minutes to 6 minutes. 2 minutes to 6 minutes. It was like atmospherically interesting. You know, it felt kind of like chaotic and disorienting in a very quiet way. But but I don't really understand this track's placement and what it represents necessarily. I'm feeling a low 6 on this one. Sick times. Do I have a BOC ranking yet? Yes, it's I have a ranking list on the album of the year. Whole so far, I'm really liking that kind of through line. I'm gonna bring up what I think the overall issue I have with this album is. I'm gonna. This song was really good. I'm gonna get to why I enjoy this song, in a sec. This song, but I'm gonna enjoy this song. But I'm gonna say what my problem with this album is. Coming off of Campfire Head Phase, which is such a left turn for the band, it's so different from all of their other shit. All of their other shit. I was expecting this album, you know, especially with it being like with it being like 8 entire years after that release, you know, this is like a big comeback for them. I was expecting something a little more bold, and this just kind of feels like shit standard Boards of Canada. Shit standard Boards of Canada. This kind of feels like them just doing their thing. Which, for a big return, and for an album that's coming off of such a massive switch, for it to feel like it's playing it so safe, it's a little disappointing. Now, that being said, I'm still loving a lot of what's being presented here. I think that this track is great. I think that the implementation of some of the newer synth sounds is really nice. It's adding at least a bit of variety to the actual sonic elements. But I feel like in terms of the songs themselves, it just feels like them doing their thing as opposed to something that feels like it's actually pushing themselves in a different direction. I'm a little confused as to why that is. They feel like a band that are constantly challenging themselves. I mean, I haven't listened to their discography in chronological order. I started with Inferno, then went Geo Gaddy, then Music Has the Right to Children, then Campfire Head Phase. I've listened to their shit completely out of order. But I have been able to pick out a distinct feature of all of their other albums. Inferno is horrific. Geo Gaddy is like mind-melting and disorienting throughout its entire runtime. Music entire runtime. Throughout its entire runtime. Music Has the Right to Children is very ethereal. Then you get to an album like Campfire Head Phase, which is their very experimental album that is so different from all of their other shit. This is the one album that kind of just feels like, yeah, that's Boards of Canada. Yeah, that's Boards of Canada. Yeah, that's Boards of Canada. But I can't pick out a distinct feature about it. It kind of just feels like them, and that's it. That being said, I would give this song a solid 8. This song went hard as fuck. Excellent drum pattern, a beautiful progression on this track. Beautiful progression on this track as well. Some really cool robotic sound play towards the back half there that really created like a sense of unease. Like anytime the album's going for something that feels a little eerie or uneasy, I'm finding that to be its strong suit. There, you can kind of feel a little bit of the stepping towards the super creepy shit that they'd go on to do on Inferno. I don't know. This is gonna be my least favorite album of theirs. Like I don't think they're gonna be able to really turn it around and turn this into a fucking masterpiece in the back half here. But I'm still enjoying this. I want to make it very clear that like it's looking like Boards of Canada are going to be 5 for 5 for me. This album, the worst it's getting is like kind of meh. There you go. That is my best to worst on Boards of Canada, and right the there. Best it's getting is like great to incredible. So it's just a bit of a mixed bag for me so far. Collapse up next for me so far. Bit of a mixed bag for me so far. Collapse up next. How long is the raw recording on this one? Because I do a lot of talking throughout this. The raw recording is... that's an hour and 19 and 16. What? That's... What, an hour and 35? Collapse up next. Boards of Canada's worst album ever. Exactly. I said at the beginning this album was going to be absolute penis. Whoa, that was a fucking great transition. Holy shit. That, like, that cut off, like, the more yapping, the better, honestly. That cut off and then punching right in with the drums, that was great. I like a video in which I'm talking a lot. It means I'm sparking a lot of discussion. Yeah, I respect the Muse Reddit post because it was someone actually... Oh, here's where I blabber about the Reddit post. Lol. It's like, it's... Ethan, really, it's not really constructive. Getting the talking to a Tally Hall fan videos. Well, what do you want me to say to that? That's... anyway, Collapse. That cut off and then punching right in with the drums, that was great. I much prefer this to the other 2-minute track. This one's closer to 3 minutes, I guess. But yeah, I really enjoyed this track's ability to feel very dusty, had a very like windy quality to it. It felt like, I don't know, like going back to like the desert side of the album. I'd rather fight an Oasis fan because being so empty and Oasis fans are one of two things. If it's an Oasis fan in their 50s, I can offer them alcohol, trick them into being my friend, and then stab them in the back. If it's an Oasis fan who's a little younger, I can offer them snus, trick them into being my friend, stab them in the back. You either offer them alcohol or snus, depending on their age. Spacious, and then kind of a feeling of like a rising chaos. There's very much like a what's the word I'm looking for? Like an anxious anticipation to that track that perfectly leads with that transition into Palace Posey. I'm gonna guess it's I'm gonna guess it's Posey. Do what E. Nunes said. Future Frankie. Wait, what do you mean? Add that where? Palace Posey? I'm gonna guess it's Posey. It's Posey. There we go. Nothing is real would like a word. Fuck is nothing. Anyway. After talking about the post, like an update on it? No. I'm not including that in the video. That's fluff. I'm gonna guess it's Posey. Flat 8. I guess it's Posey. Flat 8 on that one. Good. Anyway. Flat 8 on that one. Good shit. Nice. Flat 8 on that one. Good shit. Nice transitional piece into Palace Posey. Nice transitional piece into Have I got the numbers right? Is this track 10? Yeah. Yep, I stand by what I said towards the midpoint of the track. I enjoyed this song a decent bit, but I have a very similar problem to what I've had with previous songs, and it's that I feel like I can get what this song does done better on other Boards of Canada albums. There are songs that I feel are similar to this that are a little eerier, that go a little harder, kind of provide a much more clear, go a little harder, that go a little harder, kind of provide a much. At least they fuck on my top 5 album of the year. Yeah, much more clear imagery to kind of sit in during the course of those songs. This track sounds nice. I mean, those songs. This track sounds nice. I mean, it's got some great punchy percussion. I like how clicky a lot of the drum sounds are here as well. The sample of the guy saying 11, the way that's chopped up and the effects that are put onto it, I don't know, add a layer of like a robotic staticness to this track that I do appreciate. But this track, like a lot of others, just feels like a lesser version of some stuff Boards of Canada have already done. I'm gonna be generous. Of Canada have already done. I'm gonna be generous. I'll still give this a flat 7. I still think that it is a good song. But having heard some of their other shit, I'm like, okay, okay, okay. I can get this track done a little bit better in other places, you know. Did Sedan? Can we get a permaban on Midnight Winds, please? Split Your Farewell Fire perfect backrooms track. It could be. Split Your Infinity. Split Your Infinities. 11. Split Your Infinities. Better in other places, you know? Split Your Infinities. The Saddam Hussein comment did not make it into the video. $48, $57. Split Your Infinities. Again, again, I'm feeling like I'm feeling like I'm hearing stuff on this track, and it sounds nice. There are some great synth sounds here, great punchy percussion, but not only do I feel like the song itself drags a little bit and doesn't really feel like it warrants even its 4.5-minute runtime, the progression just feels a little too sluggish on this song. Feel like too sluggish on this song. I feel like, again, I'm getting a lot of the imagery from this track. I'm getting a lot of the, I guess, tonal elements of this song, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I could get this, I could get this done better on other projects. I feel like this album isn't done worse. It just aims to be more atmospheric than most people prefer. I feel like its atmospherics aren't as good as some of their other albums, though. Far from terrible, but albums though. Far from terrible, but certainly feels like treaded ground. Yeah, yeah. This song's a high 6. It's a high 6. There's no bad songs on this album. Every song on this album is in the positive territory. Bare minimum a 6.
So far.
It just. Six. It just. It just. I would never choose to listen to this over GeoGaddy. I feel like they do a lot of what this album does, but a little bit better on Inferno. Some of the more straightforward stuff, I would take Campfire Head Phase over it, and for a lot of the more ethereal, atmospheric shit, I'm gonna take Music Has the Right to Children. It feels like a lesser version of what the previous 3 albums have
Top
done.
10 videos taken before
Inferno feels like
Disaster,
what they
yeah.
attempt on this album, but done to damn near perfection, basically. I don't think this album is necessarily, like, lesser per se. I'm not going to sit here and say that this album is like any shade of bad. It's just a mixed bag. The great moments are really great, and then a lot of the stuff in between, and I'm going to get shit for saying this, it feels genuinely like filler. For a band that have never once had a moment that, well, not never once, but for a band that have 95% of the time not had a single moment that I feel has been unnecessary to any of their albums. Hearing this, I'm like, it feels like we've got, in terms of like actual material that feels like, I don't know, it's worth like, I don't know, it's worth another, I don't know, material that feels like it's worth another BOC album. It feels like a project. There's been maybe like 25 minutes of that so far, as opposed to the 40 minutes of this album that we've already listened to. Maybe less than that. I don't know. Maybe less than that. Your Ritual or Uri. We've already listened to. Maybe less than that. Your Ritual or Ritual. Your Ritual or Ritual. I don't know. Not a 3 out of 100. It was a 3 out of 1. A 30 out of 10. Honestly, no rating. That one is the first track that actually properly feels like an interlude. No rating. It's a decent enough ambient, like an interlude. No rating. It's a decent enough ambient kind of piece that, I don't know, I found to maybe be not the most gripping, but I don't know. It's decent. Nothing is real. Nothing is real. Nothing is real. On the album. One thing I'm really finding interesting about this album, actually, specifically, is the production. Like, a lot of their old albums feel like, I don't know, finding some mysterious, like, tape or CD in the woods, and it's sounding, like, very dodgy. This, like, tracks like this, they have very modern production. Like, the drums are as punchy as any, like, dance or house track. The synths are very clean and very soft over this song as well. The bass is super thick. It's like incredibly modern production, which I'm not used to from them. Like, this is
That's mainly
That was
the
me
one thing
clicking
that I'll
or
give this album that
cracking
makes it
every
stand
single
out
one
is
of my
it has some
knuckles, by the
interesting
way.
production choices.
If you're wondering what that clicking sound was. Allow me to do it again. Ah, I can't do my thumbs. Unlucky. Or my middle fingers. Fuck. Do all the rest of them.
This is what a lot of the second half was missing with its wondrous synth use over this warm yet cryptic, over such warm yet cryptic tones. Solid to high 9. I did really appreciate this track, even if I felt like it dragged a little bit. It's a high 8 for me. It's a high 8 for me. Good shit. Just a nice like burst of color, a moment of optimism on what is otherwise a fairly dark album. All the drums were recorded like really. That's pretty cool. Sundown. Dark album. All the drums were recorded like really. That's pretty cool. Oh, whoops. It's a great ambient piece. That shit was actually genuinely haunting. Solid 8. Yeah, I really like that we're getting something that's just so spacey, moody, and very like full of despair. On the album at this point. That's like a perfect place for an ambient piece to go towards the final quarter here. I really appreciate what this drag does in terms of like the pacing and the tonality of the album here. Good shit. Great ambient piece. Good shit. New Seeds. New Seeds. This is the weakest song so far for me. I'm feeling a high, this is the weakest song so far for me. I'm feeling a high 4 to a flat 5. Great atmospherics, I think the flat 5. Great atmospherics, I think that there are multiple moments on this track that are beautiful individually, but the entire like cohesive piece that is this song is just flat boring to me. Like cohesive piece that is this song piece that is this song is just flat boring to me. Is this song is just flat boring to me. Like, I did not find this to be an interesting progression. I did not find any of the stuff outside of some of the atmospheric elements to be all that pleasant. Like, it just felt so stagnant. The song didn't feel like it was really going anywhere or like it had any real point that added anything to the album. This just feels like a 5.5 minute track for the sake of a 5.5 minute track. I really don't get why this song's here. It doesn't add anything to this for me. It's like it's going through this for me. It's just feels like it's going through the motions more than it is actually exploring an interesting idea. Like I was moving pause. Holy shit. How many times do I have to click pause? interesting idea. Like I was moving to it for the first half, and then once I realized that the track wasn't going anywhere, it was just like, oh, that's disappointing. Yeah, this is the weakest track I've heard from the band so far. I did not like this song. This is their We Suck Young Blood. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. We Suck Young Blood is like a 1 out of 10 song. This isn't that bad. This is just kind of song. This isn't that bad. This is just kind of like boring. Come to Dust up next. Oh wait, this is 16. Sorry. Did I label the last one correctly? I did. Come to Dust up next. Come to Dust up next. Let's hope the album can end on a bang at least. Come to Dust up next. I'm just gonna put this here. Actually, hang on, I might not put it there. Let's hope the album can end on a bang at least. Yeah, that I don't know. I've done that 1 or 2 times in videos before. When I correct myself, I don't do it all the time. Sometimes I'll just not be bothered. My PC ran out of disk space. Unlucky. We continue. We're gonna we continue. We're gonna run this track back from the start. They kind of don't. They kind of don't. The last thing I expected to describe. The last thing I expected to describe a Boards of Canada album as is boring, but that's how this album has gotten moving into these final tracks here. I'm just really not pulling anything out of this anymore. Like these songs are starting off strong and then they're just really trailing off. And I can find myself trailing off, and I can find myself like mentally just clocking out a little bit. clocking out a little bit. Like, it doesn't really feel like there's any hooks in these songs to really make me want to focus and pick them apart more. It's just like, yeah, I've heard this before. You've given me exactly what this track gives me before many times, and far more interesting as well. Like, this is significantly less adventurous than a lot of their other stuff. This is significantly less atmospherically bold. Bold than a lot of their other stuff. This is significantly less developed than a lot of their other stuff. This just feels like noodling around more so than it does actually having finished ideas. I'm disappointed, man. Like, this album's actually getting to like me disliking it territory, which I'm feeling a high for on that song. That's it territory, which like I'm feeling a high for on that song. That's the first score I have given Boards of Canada in the negatives ever. That is the first score I've given them that goes below a 5. Damn. Damn. Damn.
There we go. Jesus Christ.
5. Damn. Five. Damn. Like, I really went into this album expecting like to really like it, and I've enjoyed it, but this is a very mixed bag with some very very bumpy spots. Like, I am still like I have liked this album, but it gets rough at points, man.
I might be completely misremembering that time. I'm trying to read the tiny text there. Oh, I wasn't even close. But in my defense, the Y and the K next to each other look like a capital A. That looks like a capital A right there, in my defense. I was trying to read tiny ass text, okay? I can't remember the names of all of the fucking songs. It's a 17 track album. Leave me alone. I don't know. Martia could be a word. I don't know.
I'm feeling a solid 6. It's a decent. I'm feeling a solid 6. It's a decent. I'm feeling a solid 6. It's a decent, I guess, foreboding kind of ambient track to close off the album that, I don't know, that ambient track to close off the album that creates enough of a feeling of dread for me to say that I was following along with it for the most part. It's a positive to end off the album, though not the biggest positive, you know? positive. You know, I thought this was okay. I thought this was an okay closer. Wow, this is the weakest of their albums, quite easily. Easily for me the weakest of their albums. I'm kissed of their albums. I'm I I'm gonna get I, I'm gonna get one thing straight, and I'm gonna say I liked this album. This is a good album. Good album, but this is firmly good and not anywhere even close to great like the rest of their music is. This is a noticeable step down with multiple tracks that I found to be boring, underwhelming, and to just retread the same ground that the band have gone over so many times before in more interesting ways, in ways that create more immersive atmosphere, in ways that create more immersive atmospheres, in ways that create more interesting soundscapes, and ways that just make for like more re-listenability. I can't see myself coming back to this album at all. Album at all. Like I might do a rank or like I might do a ranking video for the band soon, and I'll re-listen to the album for that. But besides that, I can't see myself listening to this casually, because the more straightforward stuff on this album is done better on Campfire Head Phase. The more creepy stuff on this album is done better on GeoGaddy, and then is done. Is this the first album for me where the low scores are not because the album isn't sonically pleasing? Um, no, I've had other albums that I've been given low scores like because of more contextual reasons. Well, further down the line on Inferno, the more atmospheric stuff, the more ethereal stuff is done better on Music Has the Right to Children. I seriously do not see a situation where I'd pick this album over a single other one of their albums. That's not to say it doesn't have its highlights, though. There are great moments here. Absolutely. I think the Reach for the Dead is the strongest cut on the album easily. I thought that was an incredible track that kind of was like that same level of quality as a lot of their other stuff. You have songs, other stuff, their other stuff. You have songs on here like Jacquard Causeway, Cold Earth. I really liked. You also have a song like Nothing Is Real that I thought was pretty great too. Sundown was a solid cut. Like plenty of tracks on here that are great. Plenty of tracks on here that I would come back to individually. I just feel like the album experience is too up and down for me to say that I would want to come back to it on the whole, especially when so many of these songs just make me sit here and think like, damn, I could be listening to GeoGaddy. I could be listening to Inferno, Campfire Head Phase, and Music Has the Right to Children instead of this, you know? Yeah, this is the weakest of the bunch. I'm feeling a flat 7. Feeling a flat I'm feeling a flat 7 on this album. Flat 7. It's good. Is it great? No. No. It's the weakest of their albums and the only album that goes beneath an 8 out of 10 and it's all the way down at a flat 7. But I do respect this album. I do think it was an enjoyable experience, but man, there are some moments on here that are quite rough and hold it back from being great. And for like a big return for the band coming a whole 8 years after Campfire Head Phase, this feels like them just kind of being like, we're back and we sure are just doing our thing. You know, not really gonna push the needle all that much, not really gonna take that big of a leap forward with the band. We're just gonna kind of dick about, and it's like, okay, I guess, sure. It says a lot that their worst work is still 7. Um, sure. It says a lot that their worst work is still a 7. Absolutely. Like the fact that they're easily their worst album is still a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. That's good. The fact that I think that their worst album is still solidly good is a very like solidly good is a very like positive statement about the band on the whole. Like I have to very clearly state this is a good album in my opinion. This is a good album, but it's their weakest. Does this make Inferno that much more intriguing for me though? Perhaps a re-listen soon. This makes me look back on Inferno in like an even like more positive light, I think, because it's like, damn, they already attempted to do something that feels a little Inferno-esque, and then they did it just a million times better with that album. They really spent those 13 years wisely, you know? This is their worst album for me, but still an enjoyable enough listen, and one definitely worth giving a try. Worth giving a try. It's just this should not be where you start with the band. It's enough blabber. An enjoyable enough listen, and one definitely big F. Yeah. Worth giving a try. Thank you all so much for. Damn. I cut that statement out. I feel like there's a lot of blabber that isn't really all that necessary. And then I don't need to look through the outro because I know what the outro is already. I didn't unlist the stream after I was done. I'm an idiot. Give me a sec. I need to do that. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Thank you. Hurry up, please. Yep, I get it. I get it. PC, you're having such a difficult time clicking on the live tab. I demand so much of you. You're having such a difficult time. I dared to click something. I dared to click something. I know it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Yep, just completely resize my entire screen. Cool. Thank you. We'll see you all whenever I next stream or upload. Bye bye. Bye-bye.
All right, cool. That is it. That is the Tomorrow's Harvest reaction done. This will be uploaded and made public tomorrow. But yeah, besides that, I'm not going to be doing shit tomorrow. I'm going to be binging Attack on Titan Season 2. Yeah, thank you for being here, Brandon, Curryman, Music, E. Nunes. It's basically just been you guys for the most part on this stream. I appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, next stream will be Thursday, doing a request stream. Friday, I'm going to be in London seeing My Chemical Romance. Saturday, we'll see what I get up to Saturday and Sunday. And then Monday, I'll be in London again for Queens of the Stone Age, Acid Bath, and System of a Down. But yeah, for now, that is it for me. I will see you all later.